Lingo Droids was a fascinating project. So one of the interesting things about the rat slam brain was that it was very hard to understand what was going on inside it. You know, Michael had managed to produce these visualizations, but there was really no way to query it or influence it, or because it was kind of this amorphous mass of neural construct inside. And every rat slam brain was unique. It would be built off its own set of unique experiences. It would follow its own learning journey. How could you get two rat slam brains to talk to each other? Now this is really interesting because here we have two brains produced computationally with structures inside them that are so unique that they can't talk to each other. You can't have this one learn from this one. So how do we do it, right? When you've got humans that have grown up with their own unique structures, we have our own unique patterns that we've seen, our own unique, we don't read each other's minds. We can't do that. In fact, this sort of, the rat slam experiences tells me that mind reading ain't ever gonna happen, right? Because you can't possibly understand what's inside those structures. So that's where language comes in. And we very cleverly take what is our unique private construct inside our brain and we turn it into a common sound that you understand, and that triggers your unique bits inside your brain which are entirely different to mine. So we had this golden opportunity to explore the principles of language by using these rat slam brains. And could we get two rat slam brains to influence each other, talk to each other, set goals for each other, share information with each other using only expressed language? To make it more interesting, let's not even define the language. Let's have them invent their own language to be able to do it. So these were the Lingo Droids. The Lingo Droids actually communicated using mobile phone tones, the beep, 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 beep as you dial on the phone, which sounded like a great idea when we started it, but then running these experiments for hours and hours and hours actually drove us mad. So what the Lingo Droids were able to do then initially was just to meet up in different locations and share a sequence of mobile phone tones for what their location was. But physically, being in the same place, this whole embodied cognition idea, that shared attention meant that they would both learn the same set of mobile phone tones for the different places. And over time, they would come up with a different set of names for different areas based on these mobile phone tones. Then we added an extension to the grammar that was about distance and bearing. So then they started to discuss how far away things were and what bearing they were at. So they would get relationships between two places. Now we had a means for one robot to tell another, there's a place over there you've never been to, it's this distance and that bearing away, and it's called this. So that when the robot got there, it went, oh, I'm in that place that the other robot told me about. So now they were actually influencing each other's brains. But then an unexpected thing happened. One of the robots would say, actually, there's a place outside this room that I'm going to call, Boo. And it's, got this distance and that bearing away. Never been there, but that's its name. And the other robot would go, okay, that distance and that bearing, that's the thing. Now, neither robot had ever been to the place Boo, right? But they both agreed on the name for it. Then they both built concepts inside their little rat slam brains for this place that neither of them had ever been. Sounds a bit like imagination to me, right? And creativity going on inside these brains based on shared language. And it's interesting then how when you build a society, how that helps to create imagination beyond what one might get alone.